What's up, Obscure Mike people? I got something exciting. Ruh-roh. I got something exciting in the studio today. I'm excited about it. Maono has released a proper audio interface. The Maono PS22 2x2 audio interface. Yeah, global best-selling internet microphone. What the hell does that mean? 24-bit. 192 kilohertz, 2 in, 2 out, dual XLR combo jack, premium preamp with 60 dB of gain range, dual USB-C for PC, Mac, and mobile. Boom. Believe it's going to come in at about $119.99, and at that price, it puts it in that like consumer best tier of small interfaces. It is dual XLR. Usually, like a Focusrite, you're going to pay, you know, $120, $150 for a single. So this still kind of comes under budget and hits on some points there that are still budget rangy. I can tell you one thing. The box is heavy, so it feels pretty good. If there's no link in the description for the members when I release this early to them, it's coming if you want to buy it. Let's get some B-roll cam on it and check this interface out. Then we'll plug it up, hook it up. I'm using the PD200X from Maono because why not? Of course, we'll throw the SM7B on it and all that good stuff, but promising to say the least. Will the latency-free monitoring be latency-free? Here it is, the Maono PS22. Pretty excited about this, actually. Like, when I think about some of the best brands on Amazon that are cheaper than the big brands that are still quality, I think of, you know, Fifine and Maono. And Maono, you know, kind of jumping all over this proper interface market. Finally, somebody did this. Granted, I don't know if it's any kind of a rebrand AliExpress kind of thing or anything like that, but typically those things are not heavy and super well built. This feels real good. This feels very Focusrite-y, very Motu-ish. This feels solid. Happy. Silver. There's a couple different colors, but this one's silver. There it is, PS22. We got a high Z button that presses. We got a mic instrument 1 combo jack, mic instrument 2 combo jack. We've got gain knob with a little wiggle, nothing major. Feels pretty okay overall. Same with the others, little wiggle, nothing major. Headphones, gain for each, high Z on both. 48 volts phantom power. Look at that. Okay, we got our first big ticket item here. Individual 48 volts phantom power. That is honestly kind of rare. Honest to God, that is a little bit rare. You don't see that in a lot of interfaces. That's a big deal. Believe it or not, some people like to have a, you know, like a dynamic microphone on their vocals and then a pencil condenser on their acoustic guitar and record. And you can do that with this. Very cool. Another big selling feature here. This is an audio interface, but you can also kind of make it mixerish by being in stereo or mono. So if you're in mono, both of these jacks are going to come through to the mix as one track. And if you're in stereo, you can either do stereo recording or you can do track 1, track 2. The stereo and mono switch, that's very important for live streaming or something like what I'm doing. Videos for YouTube. Input mix here. We've got a monitor and DAW mix. Well, input and DAW mix. That feels pretty good too. Got an output knob, headphone jack. This is impressive. Some rubber feet here. And on the back, now more big ticket items. I'm super impressed by the features of this so far, but we have a power switch and it is, I love this kind of power switch. Don't ask me why. I just do. I think it's sweet. We can change our power source from DC 5 volts or bus powered USB-C. And then we've got another output here. So we've got power by USB-C or power by USB-C or USB on your computer, out to a mobile, left and right outputs balanced. Nice Kensington lock thing, I believe there, but that's impressive. This is nice, man. If this sounds good, we're in business, because this has a lot of features that everyone kind of wants out of a basic box style audio interface. Good job so far, Maono. Let's hook it up. Actually, we're not going to do that yet because there's accessories. I'm sure in this little box there's not a whole lot of accessories, but there's something. You know, we got something here in the accessory box. I'm guessing a USB cable, maybe not much else. Dump it. All right. Okay. Wow, dude. We've got a headphone, 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter. Didn't expect that. We have a USB A to C, and we have a USB C to C and a silica gel packet there. So they've kind of got you covered on these multiple inputs on the back of this device by giving you more than one USB cord. Cool. Now let's hook it up. We've got the Maono hooked up. We've got green lights blinking. We've got things going on. We've got something not so great already. It's not terrible, but it's just a little disappointing. The latency-free monitoring is definitely 95% latency-free, I would say. There is a bit of a robotic tone to this. It is not to the same level as some of the Maono sound card interfaces, so to speak, but it's there. It's a little robotic. It's a little unnatural. I went straight from the Yamaha AG06 Mark II monitoring to this. Bam, bam. And the difference was evident from the get-go. If you were to do a channel like mine, or you do reviews of audio gear of any kind, this mic does not sound the way I hear it here. It's not super latency. It's not echoey, so to speak. It's seriously like there's a digital effect applied that is like 10% robot. Kind of disappointing. The one thing we wanted out of this machine for sure was monitoring that was clean and good, and it's just not. It's the cleanest of all the Maono interfaces I've tested. Let's be clear on that. But it is robot-y. As far as what it's doing with the PD200X, I've got the gain at about 11 o'clock. Not really up high at all. Hard to see there. There's a better angle right below the blinking green light. So, driving it just fine. I did a listen back of the test. Sounds good. Like what it's putting to tape, as they say. Sounds really good. It just doesn't sound that great in here. I could try some different headphones. I mean, that's not really what you want to do. You want all your headphones to sound pretty good, but I'll at least try some Beyerdynamic headphones real quick, some higher ohms, just to see what that does. All right, got some Beyerdynamic 80 ohm headphones on. Not a huge difference, but it will maybe do some different things. No, still a little bit robot-y. Not loving it. So disappointing. Switching back to the other headphones. All right, so I'm getting on my soapbox again, folks. Not a great idea to do a new interface if the monitoring isn't good. This monitoring is not good. Everything else about this interface seems to be good. Travesty. Like, seriously. One thing. Not everyone is going to care what their mic sounds like in their headphones as long as they can hear everything. Not everyone is. But if you are a microphone enthusiast that likes to know what different microphones sound like without having to listen back after you do some test recordings, this is going to disappoint you a little bit. Now, if you don't care what it sounds like and it's not echoey or reverby, it's just robotic. So if all you care about is listening as you're talking podcast, this will be fine. If you care about knowing the true sound of your mics, this is not fine. All right, let's grab an SM7DB real quick. All right, and the SM7DB is here, talking into it like Paige Spiranak or whatever that lady golfer name is. she has a podcast. They all sit around and hold their SM7Bs. Just get an SM58, dude. Don't just hold your SM7DBs or whatever the hell. Maybe a second issue here. I hear preamp noise. I hear some preamp noise. Now, I've only got this till 1 o'clock, getting good levels out of the SM7DB at 1 o'clock. So we're far from maxed out. Let's max it out. What good is 60 dB of gain if it's that fucking noisy? That was peaking at like negative 35 dB from just preamp noise. That's not good. That's not good. So much promise. So much promise. I'm sorry, Maono. I don't know if you guys communicate or not, but like I would think somebody over there would be like, don't send that to Bark. He's gonna rip the headphone amp on it. If it's preamp noisy, he's gonna rip that too. Just basic stuff, but don't send that to him. It's not a good idea. All right, so now I've got the preamp enabled on the SM7DB. Got the gain at about 9 o'clock, barely up at all. Does the job, but it's still a little noisy. Truly disappointing because I thought it was going to be the one. From Maono or Fi-Fine that just, boom, knockout punch. Individual 48 volts phantom power. So much I.O. on the back. So much going for it. Now, granted, again, you know, if you're not using an SM7B or DB, you make it work. You know, if you can't find anything cheaper with independent 48 volts phantom power, that I.O. on the back, high Z buttons, stereo mono mix switch. Again, got some stuff going for it. I was very excited. I am now very disappointed. Sucks to be disappointed. I'm not saying the interface just sucks, but it's not great. The market here on interfaces in this price range is fierce, man. There's so many interfaces to be had. You can't do this. This can't happen. Just can't. On the BB-SAR, sadly, I hate ripping on this. I was very hopeful, Maono. I was. Seriously. Super pumped about it. But I hadn't plugged it in yet. Because I kind of like the first impression style of my reviews more than I like, ooh, testing. Nah. You guys will catch when I mess up. It's fine. I'm not perfect. It's all good. Maono PS22, you know, spec-wise, feature-wise, all kinds of things-wise, just look great on paper. But in real-world use at $120, which I believe is what it's going to be when it comes out here in mid-February, I think it's average. It's not a great deal. It's not a bad deal. It's a 5. It has some good things going for it, and then it has the monitoring and the preamp noise going against it. Everything else is pretty good, but those are two pretty big things for me. I really do hate it because I really do appreciate every company that sends me gear, everyone who works with me, everyone who, you know, gives me an opportunity to check out their gear. I never want to tear down any device at all. I mean, the hope is that everything's good. Sometimes the bad ones are great for videos, Donner. Maono's been awesome to me. All I ever want to do is give it back, but I can't give it back on this one. It just isn't it can't be done. I would be lying if I said this thing was a go out and grab it now, buy. Take into consideration everything that I said. Take into consideration the I.O., the independent 48, all that stuff. Take it into, you know, maybe when this thing is discounted or something, or maybe if you find one used, maybe it's going to be just what you want and just what you need for your podcast or whatever else you do. But if the two things that are going against it are a no-go for you, they're a no-go for me too. So not going to lie about that. I couldn't use this in doing what I do audio-wise. It just wouldn't work for me. When I've got a Yamaha AG06 laying around, when I've got even, I said Donner. And then Donner has stuff I like too. The Live Jack M, clean, man. Clean headphone, clean preamp. And I've got lots of other devices like that, so why would I use this one? I wouldn't. And that's the end of the video. Maono, thanks for sending it over. Hopefully the next time you get it all the way right. You really nailed some shit here. You did. You just missed, there's a couple swings and a miss, and then you hit, a double. It's the best analogy I could come up with. Obscure Mics. Peace out.